What is a brand?
Nowadays, everything is a brand. Nowadays, everything is a brand. But obviously, where I stand, I don't look at Vibe FM as a radio station. I look at Vibe FM as a content house. Why? Because just doing radio is not going to cut it nowadays. Just doing digital is not going to cut it. Or else we can just do digital, but then what is distinguishing us from others who are just doing digital? We have a platform, we have radio. So it is all about understanding. In our case, it's all about understanding the advantages of all the little platforms, of all the little presences that we have, even individual team members who will bring their own brand to the table to work with our brand on air, if you know what I mean. But nowadays, a brand is to me, it's everything is a brand. To me, something like a radio station is a brand. A product you use is a brand. Everything is a brand nowadays.
But why is it so important that there is a brand, that there is some sort of...
I think, in our case, we work in entertainment. I think giving an importance to the brand, understanding what the brand is, what it stands, helps you understand what you should and what you should not be doing.
Okay.
So if we're generating content, we need to know who we're trying to speak to. We need to know who our target audience is, and then generate content for that target audience. And that helps us start to understand where you fit as a brand. Because one of the big problems that a lot of people do, especially when they are an entertainment brand or broadcasters or whatever, is that they try to please everyone. By trying to please everyone, you end up disappointing everyone. So again, understanding who your brand is, who your brand speaks to, then helps you adapt or helps you plan what you're actually going to do, what your product is going to be.
Yeah.
There are, I mean, if we talk about radio, the radio side of things, there are other radio stations out there who speak to different demographics.
Yeah.
And they're doing a very good job speaking to a different age group. Do I want to try and attract their age group? Maybe, if there's a bit of an overlap, but not necessarily, no. Because by trying to attract their age group, maybe then I lose the identity that is what makes my brand and what makes our brand work together.
It's the identity. To me, a brand is like a community. It's like forming a community because maybe philosophically speaking, people like to be part of something bigger than them. So a brand is some sort of an umbrella that shelters people underneath it.
I like the word community. It's at the end of the day something that people relate to. I mean, when you look at the big clothing brands, we're actually paying them to buy a piece of clothing with their name for us to wear it across our chest. It's mad when you think about it. You know, I mean, and sometimes the ones with the bigger logos cost more money. You know, so I'm turning myself into a human billboard for this brand. Oh, and by the way, I'm actually paying it to be the billboard. But what have those brands done to get to that point? They've figured out what makes them desirable, and that's a trick. You know, I think a brand, especially if it's not a clothing brand, but I think the moment you know that you're running a brand, not clothes related, that you really say, you know what I've gotten there, is when you actually release your merchandise, and people are willing to pay for it.
Definitely.
That to me is a moment where, and it's happened locally, you know, with big brands, with big drinks brands that you know release their hoodies and people want to buy them. That to me means that the brand has been successful, that the brand has turned itself into something desirable.
Into something materialistic that people can embody, literally.
Exactly.
So, yes, I think a brand is some sort of a community that provides perhaps not necessarily meaning, but a safe space for people to express themselves. I think people would embody different kind of brands.
Of course.
Because we are a little more complex than we think, and we are more.
And there are different types of brands that we engage with differently as well. You know, the way I would engage with a phone brand is very different that I would engage with a fashion brand, even though nowadays a phone is becoming the ultimate fashion accessory. And it's in the same way when it comes to what we do as well. I don't expect people to engage with us in a way that they engage with a clothes brand, but eventually we'll see.
This is noise at the same time.